Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus. Let's unpause the game. And today I'm going to be playing some more Factorio Space Age as per usual. We're getting dangerously close to doing what I was setting out to do with this series, which is reaching the solar system edge. I keep being surprised that I'm doing the planets quicker than I'm sort of expecting to do. Not that we've finished Aquila or anything, I'm sure I'll keep messing about, but in terms of the thing that I know we need to get there, the railgun, we have that, and in fact, last night, as I said, I left it running. But just check the levels and stuff, right, there we go, yeah, that's all good. I left it running, and boop, boop, boop. We made some railguns. In fact, we made some uncommon railguns because I popped some quality modules in this, obviously, and we've made more than that because I've already sent them to Alvis, basically. Book of Ulrich Cole. I said railguns, indeed, indeed, indeed. Yes. So the question really is whether I kind of stay here. I ended up dumping out my inventory because I kind of figured I would go to Nalvis in order to build the ship. And what I did, I've actually built two ships, because I sort of put this. I set one up, and then I left it, and I left it for ages. I'm not very good at doing that normally. I normally have to fiddle about while it's on. But I built this one, and then I kind of figured, well, it had stocked itself up. You know, it filled up all its tanks of water and fuel and all this sort of stuff, and I kind of figured, well, I got plenty of time, I could do another one, and so I created this one. And basically what I've done, I've set this up as like a science runner, basically. So this flies about through all the planets and literally just picks up science for science, and takes it back to Nalvis, essentially, and provides another thing. Because I was getting a lot of, and we're still getting them, but we're getting a lot of really big dips in the thing where we basically ran out. Now, there is a specific reason we ran out on one of them, because the other thing I have been doing as well is filling them out with quality still. I'm really quite enjoying this. I think platform building and like quality, solving the quality puzzling is going to be something I enjoy. And I kind of understand when we, one of the pieces of advice they gave us when we started the LAN party was not to get trapped in the quality hole and basically leave it until later. Put a few modules in some of the more important things, but not to just focus all your attention on quality, because that's what I've kind of found myself doing. And I've been building all sorts of different and weird builds to try and build all the sorts of bits and pieces, because what I was trying to do is get some high quality stuff for the platform, basically. So I kind of failed. I got literally, we've sort of ended up with, so the SS Edging has got a few quality bits and pieces, available to it. So we've got, for example, one epic rocket turret. That's kind of as far as that goes. We don't manage to roll the dice on enough and get anything sort of higher than epic, with the exception of solar panels and accumulators, which have been running for ages, basically. So we do have a small handful of those, and a couple available on the planet. I've got 10 and 10, so I have to see how useful they are. But yeah, so I got some crushers and some quality bits and pieces, which is all good. Obviously, there's also not just that stuff there. There's what's actually been used to build this, and to stop me from turning it into a proper platform, I basically chopped off the grabber arms, so it's not really. It had a few bits and pieces before I even kind of got started, but basically, yeah, there's no resources being gathered here, so we can kind of deconstruct this. But I kind of know this works, this as a thing with the levels of research that I've done with the stuff. It basically works. So and it's able to support a whole load of gun turrets and rocket turrets, and it doesn't struggle at all. The only thing I get is warnings because I've done this sort of safety, regular yellow ammo thing, which we could probably get rid of. So I am just doing, I think, with these two researches, we'll be strong enough with the damage, particularly the explosive. It'll be able to two-shot a big asteroid, basically a big meteorite, because at the moment it's taking 3 rockets to do that. So I think with that one, because each one gives like 50% bonus, and so I think that takes me over the what would you call it, like the threshold essentially to be able to 2-shot a big asteroid, which therefore, you know, because I'm effectively like wasting a rocket on, like, I think it works out at like 90 damage or something. And so basically, you know, because you can't set the filter to do, if it's basically damaged, basically dead, leave it for the guns. You can't do that sort of stuff. So I think if I do these two, because then I think also with the guns, especially with the armor piercing ammo, that means that they can, like, 4 bullets basically kills a medium asteroid. I think that seemed to be what was happening. So basically, as at the moment it's 5 and it becomes 4. I mean, so we're sort of pushing over a threshold with each of those. But what I was going to do, I was going to pop these on and we'll research them anyway, because I don't think we'll be heading towards the Shadow Planet. If we are, it's very much a test run. But as I say, I know that this works, as it were, and it produces a load of stuff, and it has excess. You know, it throws basically some of everything overboard, and we could always do one more asteroid research. So what I'm basically saying is I think these numbers of, you know, crushers and arms and whatever is probably what we'll base it on. And what I need to do is work out how I'm going to make railguns and then try and do the maths on how many railguns. Because what I did actually when I was kind of designing this one, I was basically looking at the numbers for these ones that are moving around. So these aren't particularly efficient. And I'm also doing this thing of trying to save the stuff, you know, on the belts, and it's not really working very well. But you can obviously get an idea from your production stats as to you can also do your kills, can't you? There you go, that's what I was doing. So you can see in your kills on the different journeys you're going on, you know, if you're sort of watching it, because these are the trips it's doing, what the averages are, and then you can also look at the chart on the thing as well. So that's what I was trying to do it. But obviously what we'll encounter when we go, I believe, to the Shattered Planet, or to the solar system. Well, I don't know actually. Does the Shattered Planet? That's a point as it happens. I don't know. So if we do that journey, yeah, you get huge ones basically. So I don't really know, you know, how many in practice, and if it's worth doing the researches and what have you, because it's the huge ones that we can't really kill without anything but a railgun. And as you see, they get really big there. So that's 8, what's that? No, 9 minutes, sorry, I'm not looking at the wrong thing. 9 a minute for the carbonic, and 5 a minute for that, and what's that? We've got huge ones for, maybe there aren't any huge, oh there are, it's just overlapping, so 3 a minute for the carbonic ones, for the oxide ones. So yeah, so there's that, but because of these numbers and the way these work, I don't know if I'll need to try and store stuff on belts and stuff like that. So I think we'll use these numbers, basically these things here. I'll obviously need to expand this and possibly add on extra things in order to build the railgun ammo. But yeah, we will kind of use this as the template and maybe upgrade a few things, you know. So yeah. Hello, Bacon Magician, how you doing? Yes, HMS Dump It All. Indeed, yeah. Poop it overboard. I think basically all of my platforms poop it overboard, really. Yes, hello, Bacon Magician. So Valcana seems great at quality items that don't need oil products, like solar panels, chemical plants, inserters, and gun turrets. I also know my final ship, the Edger. Indeed. Yeah, I say, I'm really just I'm kind of experimenting with it, you know, because this is the thing. I say, I can't leave, leaving it just running, like a lot of people seem to, it's not something I can do, and I always come back and start fiddling with something, or, you know, come up with a question or something like that, and then I'll go and, you know, mess about in the game. So when I say I've left it, what I actually mean is I've been sticking in loads of mad contraptions, which is the exact sort of thing I love to build, in order to try and, you know, get quality batteries and what have you. So yeah. Ooh. Where was that? notification on that. Hello, Nanotax. Thank you for the follow. That's very kind. Hope you're having a good day. Whoops. Let's say, for some reason, the pop-up didn't come up for me for that. Don't know what happened there. But yeah, thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a good 2025 so far. So yes, so as I say, the question really is whether I start building the other stuff, because the other probability / possibility is that we will have to do fusion for the, to get to the solar system edge. I suspect not. I think I can probably just scale up the nuclear I've got, because I don't really care about building a big platform now. It's now not too much of a problem, so I can just put, and the ones I've got on there are only, it's one nuclear, nuclear reactor, and is it 8? I think I put on there of the turbines. So yeah, there's plenty of scope for just ramping that up. And I say with even better accumulators and stuff, we should be able to just store a load of power as well. But we might as well see if we can build some. In which case, I emptied my inventory out, didn't I? Because I was expecting. I'm sort of really getting into the mode of just like building everything via the, via map and remote view. It's interesting. It's interesting actually. So yes, which ones did I unlock? So I unlocked. Now I'm assuming portable fusion reactor. I could probably build on. Oh, I would have to send some. Oh, it actually uses the portable fusion reactor. Okay. Oh, and supercapacitor. Am I moving supercapacitors about? That's a question. Since I have the Fulgor Express. I am. Okay. So, what would you... So, diffusion power cells have to be made on... No, they don't. Okay. But you would have to... I would have to get ammonia... And lithium. Oh, well, yeah, there's no point building them anywhere else, really, then, is there? What do they recycle into? Themselves, okay. It would also nice to just mess about with one. I don't think I've got a planet that's struggling for power, but could always take it to Fulgor or something and maybe try it on, try it there or something. What I was actually going to build was the foundation, but I'm getting a bit distracted by this, aren't I? So ammonia, because it's not actually that expensive in a sense, and we've kind of got all that right here. Why am I on this view? So I've got the holmium there. Well, or just fireball. So the cells aren't that difficult, are they? What do we just do there? Portable fusion reactor. Really expensive with the quantum processors. Crikey. So it looks like doing them at scale is probably a good thing, really, isn't it? Okay, so we would need fusion cells for them anyway, and what about the actual reactors? Oh my word. 250. Oh, so they're exactly the same ingredients. Am I bringing superconductors here? Let's have a look. I should be, yeah, both of them. But only 100 supercapacitors. Do we need them for something? They're getting lost again. So, if we go... So they don't need supercapacitors, okay. But this guy does, but only 25, so 100 is fine, isn't it? And these fuel things didn't involve supercapacitors. Okay, so we're probably okay with just 100 on order then. But I say, what I was going to look at properly is foundation, because I assume I haven't actually checked how you build rail. Obviously we can't build it on land, but where's the... There. So can I just build them now without foundation? Oh, you can. Okay. So you must only need that for the lava and the oil sand then. So there wouldn't be much point building it here unless we kind of have to. Where is foundation? Oh, of course it won't show me in that, will it? Unless have I done that research? Oh, here we go. Oh, so it needs fluoro... Why would it need fluoroketone? That's all weird. So you can make it anywhere. But 2 of your ingredients are them, and we're already bringing in all that stuff. Dead skin marsh. You have to really want the fusion reactor, okay. To be honest, it's much more powerful since quality percentage bonus affects base stats, okay. Hello! Hello, I get my tongue again. Hi, German. Hello. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay, yeah, I'm doing well. Been kind of recovering from a cold over Christmas, but yeah, not too bad now. Hope you're doing well as well. Hope you're having a good weekend and a good start to your year. Always starts out alright, doesn't it, the year? And then kind of goes wonky. So yeah. I also put the processors there, didn't I? I don't know, I mean, I suppose with this having its 50% prod bonus, you know, actually it's like only half of that. It's actually only 125 in a sense. But yeah, I think I need to increase this quite a bit. Maybe it's probably on 500. Are the quantum processors used? Aren't they used in the science pack? Am I going mad? Where are you? We're getting into the Bob's Angels territory now with you know, just too much to use. Products, da-de-da. Recipe. Right, oh, sorry, look in the wrong place. Yeah, so it is used in the science pack if I wanted to do that, but only one. So if we wanted to do that on principle. What is the first... let's do it on there. So the first one with that is only 1200. So you can instantly halve that because of the Biolab bonusy thing. So we'd only probably need to make like 400, 500? So if we're making 400 or 500 of them, and you get 10 per craft, so we'd only need to put like 10 on a platform. Or, you know, bring 10 to now, this sort of thing, maybe. Along with... we need quite a lot of chunks, but I'm assuming we'll end up kind of drowning in those. So if I just wanted to do one lithium science pack, for which I assume there is an achievement. We wouldn't need to launch too many of them into space. But... keep looking in the wrong places, don't we? But... oh, I made myself a railgun as well, so I could maybe go shoot a demolisher as well, just because we're horrible. It would be nice to have a portable fusion reactor. I'm not really seeing the, you know, benefit over and above my, you know, fission reactors. I guess maybe if I wanted to go nuts and have loads and loads of lasers and stuff like that, but what combat am I doing now? None. Railgun turret, obviously we've made a bunch of those. Maybe we need more. So yeah, it's really whether I want to do fusion reactors. I guess I could just set them going. And then maybe we build some at some point. But otherwise, what we want to do, I think, is put some requests on some platforms in order to move them around. So, quantum processors, that is. So I think Would this be the best place to do it? I think it would. So if we go here and we add on, what do they stack to in a rocket? Rocket capacity, what? Oh, 200. So we might as well do a rockets full. Bring them in. Because that's the other part. I mean, there'll be some on... who would have them? I guess Freeze would have them? I bet there's about a... Yeah, railguns there already. Crikey. Oh, and it's at Aquilo. So, cool. Yeah, so it's just waiting on the things. Because we're not really doing any scientists that use the thing. So, the other one then is Foundation, which we're still researching. So all of these are starting to feel very, very endgame. So it seems like moving fluoroketone around wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. That means dealing with barrels though, doesn't it? And I object to barrels on principle. Because that's fluoroketone as well as lithium. So we could basically launch lithium and fluoroketone in barrels up. And then we'd be able to make... Because they're clearly not useful here. But we could potentially make them... So I get to the point where, because I have my goal is just to do the system's edge, a lot of this stuff is seeming pointless to me now. I might as well just focus on building the platform. But yeah, we'll launch some lithium and fluoroketone in barrels into, up on the platforms, just so that we've got it. If I decided to change my mind, you can only build them on Alvis anyway. So we would need, to bring fluoroketone here. What's the other thing that's left to build? Left to research, rather. Oh, that is the captive biospawn. Okay. And those also need lithium as well. So yeah, we might as well send lithium and what have you up as well. So, what's a stack of lithium? I'm not sure I'm putting it in the 500. Okay, that's quite a lot. I've said this a lot. The whole balancing thing clearly went kind of out the window. Fusion power cells. What were they? Holmium, lithium, and ammonia. So they're actually... I wonder if that is intended to push you to do them on Fulgora. Interesting. But yeah, ammonia is... I don't want to send ammonia. So what we would have to do, I guess, is maybe send the fusion power cells around if we wanted to do that. What do they stack to? 50? Wow. So those stack to 50, but these only stack to 10, don't they? Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So maybe if we make sure there's like 100 floating about in the system somewhere. What was the other thing? No, it was lithium. Cool. And then we could also go to these guys and fiddle about with this one. I guess they're an intermediate, so I won't be surprised if they're already kind of on the list, but where should I put them? So if we put, say, let's tack it on the end, where does it put them? There, along with those two. Where are those two? There. Okay, so move these up a bit. I can keep the same. Did they stack to 100 in a rocket? Yeah, 200. So do that. And then lithium plate I've already put on the list. So let's make sure 100 there. These are 500, so let's have a stack of them floating around. That's not relevant. Quantum processors we've done. Cool. Is there going to be room for all that? So that would be... Because that's 5 stacks, wasn't it? Yeah. Another 2 for the quantum processors. 2 for them. Yeah, so we've got plenty of room. And that should apply to both of these. It's one of the great things about the whole logistic groups. It sort of just applies automatically everywhere. Cool. Fluoroketone. That was the thing I haven't done. So, it's actually going to be barrels of fluoroketone, which should be already on the list here somewhere. Or did I not include them? Ah, here we go. Fluoroketone. I guess we're just setting the cold stuff up. What do they stack to in a rocket? Rocket capacity 110 stacks. Okay. So put them on the list. We obviously need to set that up then. Would you have room as well? I think you would. I think you would. Yeah, okay. Oh, those are the things it's ordering in, isn't it? So it's this one. So we need to put fluoroketone on this as well. Barrels of fluoroketone. Where would they live? In there. 10. 100. Cool. But that means we need a supply of steel so that we can... Or barrels. Do I start moving barrels around? I say I object to barrels on principle. The question you see is whether I move the barrels or the steel for the barrels. So it stacks to 200 in a rocket. Crikey. 20 stacks. Wowza. Obviously it's more... Is it more space efficient? So rocket holds 200 barrels. But 400 steel plate. So the steel plate is more efficient to move around? Oh, we're moving that anyway. Is that right? Because each barrel is a single steel plate. They only stack to 10 and you can put 200 in. So that's 20 rows basically. Whereas then they stack to 100. Yeah, it's way more efficient to move the steel, isn't it? That means we've got to make the barrels on the planet. Okay, that means, unless... I'm pretty sure I'm ordering it in already. But it needs... I need more steel than that then. Let's make sure we have 500 steel coming down. Cool. So, we need to make barrels. And then we need to put the fluoroketone in the barrels. Cool. Hello, Police Politics. How you doing? I've now gone on a mission to Glever. Yeah, barrels are kind of tedious. How about a magnetic containment unit on the ship and just shooting the fluid out? That would be cool. Yeah. Also, I mean, I suppose part of the point is that fluoroketone is some kind of antifreeze type stuff, I guess. You know, like, you know, equivalent to that. But, you know, you're on a planet where presumably the temperature is meant to be hundreds of degrees below zero. Obviously, you know, there's a limit. Is it 273, absolute zero? But it's got to be meant to be at least 100 degrees below zero here, isn't it? That's the whole point. So couldn't you freeze it, you know? Turn it into ice cubes rather than stick it in barrels? I say, I just fundamentally disagree. It brings back all sorts of horrible memories from the versions of the game prior to... So we can't barrel in there? We can't barrel in there. Prior to the fluid wagon. Okay. So, because I've connected that on both sides by accident, haven't I? So, okay, there. So we could put a... Where is it? Assembly machine. Drop that off. Assembly machine. Cannot build on rough ice, eh? So you would need to fill the barrel. Okay. And then it also needs Can I get it in there? I think I could wangle it in there. But are we going to need a stock? I guess we're going to need a stock of barrels then, aren't we? So we need to make barrels. I keep looking for my inventory. Should I just go and get some stuff and then we can get rid of it later? Let's get some inserters. Inserters. Too far away. Assembly machines. Oh, it's kicking them out of my inventory. In fact, no, it'll take ages to load up. Some of them, some of them, some of them, some of that. Let's take some of you guys. Power. Oops. What's I guess? Guess we might use some form of module. I tidied this up as well, made it, you know, put more in individual things rather than stick it all together sort of thing. I can't remember if we need them at all, but we might as well just grab them. As well as other power poles. What else? I didn't grab any belt stuff, but yes, we'll get some cryo labs as well. For giggles. And what are we doing? So we need to be putting that in there, as well as ordering some steel in and exporting it. So can I wangle some heat pipes to cover all of that? Not really. If I move it down one, oops. Oh, I didn't get chests, so storage shit. Oh, there's only one. Oh, of course they're all in here. I didn't either. Requesters. Well, I guess active riders in case. Yeah. So, what are we doing? That'll be for putting the barrels in. That's for requesting the steel. If I was to put that... No, it isn't. That's a active provider. If I was to make that long-handed... I can't do that now. Oh, I didn't grab any heat pipe, did I? And then this is going to be for a ketone out. Okay, let's just do that. Okay, so storage chest. So you need to request steel. You need to only have barrels, and this should not. In fact, that needs to be a requester, doesn't it? Well, this is a point. Well, I guess I could just recycle them on the other end. We might be able to fluke some quality steel or something. Yeah, so I can't remember when you said we were bringing up. So your request is 200 or something, was it? Oh. Did I not put it on that? Oh, I put it here. Oh, because that's what's coming in there. So, 100. So I need to be able to have 100 barrels. Okay. Logistics. So if we make that say 200. But then we'll set this to be, oops, what am I doing? Logistics, not circuit. Origin ketone cold. If that's less than 200, then you can do your thing. Oh! Oh, that's fluorine. Ah, put it in completely the wrong place. Oops. Oh well. I guess we can just move it over. I mean, we do have like the extra output there, don't we? So why don't we stick that on and see how we're doing. So put that there. You. Inventory full of barrels, as always. You used to have to move barrels around, as I say. It was like this horrible form of logistics. I missed the fluid wagon with 3 tanks. Oh yeah, you used to have separate 3 tanks, didn't they? I forgot all about that. And you used to have, well, you didn't have to, but you could set them to merge together and stuff, couldn't you? Yeah, I've forgotten all about that. I wonder why they got rid of that. It seems like a kind of cool. Oh, put it in the wrong place. Quality of life thing, you know? Because they could have just had them as defaulting, you know, together as it were. If you see what I mean. Why is that unpowered? Yes, I wasn't going to do it like that, was I? I was going to move that to there. Put that in the middle. And then have a long-handed. Barrel your fluoroketone. 200. Waiting on the steel again. In. Oh. Oh, of course it's not next to the heat now, is it? Let's do one there, because I suspect we'll probably end up putting something else in here. Cool. Do we get any bonuses from it? You know, I don't want to put. In fact, have I not got any? Can't imagine we'll get a. Where did it move them to? I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine we'll get any prod allowed. Could stick a prod in here then. No, we couldn't. It won't allow you to, will it? But then would speed work? I think it would, wouldn't it? 5.596, but we get a load of recycle, don't we? Half as much back again, so another speed in there. And now we could try and get it closer to the 100%, 80% rather. Limit, and then same here, might as well do that. So barrels, a little bit of fluoroketone. So I can't imagine me doing anything other than if it turns out I really need loads and loads of power, I'll stick them on, 200 or something on the ship and we'll just get to the edge type of thing. Okay, why do we have a random bit of steel there, guys? So that's fluoroketone, like ready to move out. I don't think anyone's turned up to pick it up yet. But it will just fill up various places. Cool. Now the other question was whether I'm even putting... So I am putting the lithium plate into the thing, and actually production of that is quite slow, isn't it? Why is that? So you're pumping out 1.33, 0.4, that's 0.4, 0.8, 1.22, so it is very closely balanced. Don't have a lot of spare ammonia. Been struggling with balancing this, to be honest with you. It's rough again with the ice backing up, you see. I don't like, they make a tink noise, which is very, very similar to like the like circuit network noise, you know, when you open those and close those. I find it a bit sort of confusing, if I'm honest. So if we were to put that there, because you're not struggling ingredients, and then bring that closer. And put also some logic on it, the same one. And then obviously give it some heat. Up the processing a bit. Now, what were the other things? So we're moving the fluoroketone around so that it could potentially make foundations if we wanted to. Everything else is on the ships. We technically got the bite spawner capability, but again that's fluoroketone dependent, so we're okay there. We are not making any of the actual fusion reactors, which are clearly going to be just better made here, I think. Are they? I'm at 215. So is that one, the generator, I don't know what the ratios are to support are, but we'll just make one reactor. Maximum consumption 10 megawatts. Maximum, 100 megawatts. 50 megawatts, so it's 2 to 1. Okay. Okay. Now, do we just bot build those? Because it's the same stuff. So I could share a requester. Yeah, go on then. Okay, what are they made in? Cryo plant, okay. So, how about we just sort of stick them in here somewhere? One there. Oh, won't fit there. One there. One there. In Pionodons, I needed water barrels to feed some creatures. Wow. Wow. I assume they, you know, consume quite a lot of water. If you know, if that's one of their things, but barreling. Oh, crikey! I say, back in the day, you used to have to barrel, and you'd basically load barrels into a wagon and then, you know, unload them on the other end. And the pain, you know, it was just an absolute guarantee, essentially, that you would at some point end up with a block, you know, like a, I can't really call it, like a log jam, basically, where you couldn't possibly put enough, you'd end up where you couldn't unbarrel it, or you would barrel it and something was blocked somewhere, and you know, you would have to put so many barrels into the system, every one of which was a single piece of steel, and then you'd have to manage, so you'd have to build like 1,000 barrels. What would a wagon hold? It's 10 by 4, wasn't it? So every wagon was like 400 barrels, and of course you want more than one, and so you'd stick them all in, and you know, you'd take them all out, and then, you know, fill them up, and then put them all back in again, or try and do some system, as I say, which is where you always get stuck, where, you know, one wagon is loading them up, and one wagon is empty, and one is full, sort of thing, and so you would just end up with nightmares of management, basically. And the introduction of the actual, you know, fluid system was just like such. The fluid wagon was such a relief. But say, I'd forgotten, like I said, that you could fill the tanks separately. So you could have, you know, I don't know, sulfuric acid and water and what have you, all in the same wagon. So I don't know why they got rid of that. I guess no one really used it, or it was confusing or something. But anyway, let's build this, which I think, as I say, is our last thing. What I might do is set up another thing, because lithium appears to be quite a heavy demand thing. So we could just set one up, because it just uses ammonia. So we could break, you know, some stuff down, and then just like recycle all the ice, just get rid of it. And then, so that would give us on-tap ammonia, as well as lithium brine. We need more holmium plate. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, just to have a separate supply, basically, so that this doesn't constantly, you know, because we're not doing anything here. Not that we need to, really, because science isn't using any cryo stuff, but yeah. Cool, okay, so, what can I have the difficulty with here? Oh no, I can sneak up through there. So, I guess we need a requester. That's the more expensive one, I think, isn't it? So this is pulling in everything there. If I'd been a little bit smarter, I could have just directly fed. But can I do that? No. Well, I could just move you up one, couldn't I? Put you there. And then give you a long-handed. And do it direct. Cool. But that one still needs them. And then we have, say, where would they need to be? Well, we could put one on this side, so it's easier to heat. And then if we put that there, so this will be the output from this one. Those are the two inputs. That's the output there. No power. Well, there you go. Now, I assume we can't do prods in these. Yeah. Obviously want some efficiency. I'm not bothered about... there's no point doing speed at all, is there? Because, you know, we're not getting anything... You know, just a very small trickle of those. And then we want a heat pipe there. That's all coming in by bot. Cool. So if this is that one, then maybe if we set this to 4. I keep thinking, I keep clicking the wrong one, and I don't know if it's because they've switched them round. It feels like they're the opposite, oops, opposite way round for some reason. But yeah, so let's do 4 of them. And 2 of them. And maybe in a couple of thousand years we'll have built one or the other. So that's their fusion reactor. Oh, it's made one. Huh. Crikey. I guess it would have, because we've been... Oh, I've been messing about. I could put qualities in them, I guess, and see if we could fluke out a high quality one, but I'm just so not expecting to use it at all, basically. Right, so if we wanted to set up an extra thing... I was plopping radars in, and I forgot to put one at the top. Oh, I just put this in to see whether it was like viable to do stuff by heating. Heating tower? It totally is. I understand some people use it to generate power, basically, because it just goes right up to 1000 degrees C. Because this was backing up again, you see. So... we've got lots of lovely space here, so let's get some of the platform down. That's not platform, that's ice. And we've not got platform. So yeah, lots of lovely space. Let's build that in. Funny Aquilo song intro. I guess that was from a while ago. I was so glad when I finally had my ice balanced. I'm glad I use heating towers for power. Okay. Are they fueled by, is that the spoilage you're using for them? Because you can burn the fruits and stuff as well, can't you? It's kind of almost anything. Well, it makes sense because it's an organic planet, isn't it? But all sorts of stuff is burnable. I think. He says, not entirely sure. I know you can burn the seeds. It's burned in, there we go. So heating towers. Yeah, so you can do the mash and the brains and the... Kind of disappointed that didn't turn anything out to be anything. You know, that they weren't the brains of the pentapods or something like that. I noticed that they got rid of the whole... It wasn't even in the early beta version. They got rid of the whole roasting the brains step. Just felt quite funny, that. Oh, I guess it was just too many steps and too complicated still. I'd love to play the original concept of Clever. I think I'd absolutely hate it. I think it'd be a, you know, Pioneers on steroids or something like that. But, or I guess SpaceX on steroids. But I'd love to at least give it a go. See what it was all about. Okay, so if we wanted to make more lithium plate and stick it in a thing. We know, I mean, we're not constrained by that, but it would be good to get similar sort of volume, I guess. So let's think about this. If we were to go, we don't really need anything. We need 2 cryo plants, don't we? One for the ammonia and that. But how many of these could I could squeeze quite a few round, you see. So, would be... Oh, it won't tell me any things until I heat them and stuff on it. Well, let's just stick a pipe in there. In fact, let's go grab some concrete. Just concrete this whole area. Oh, didn't last very long. Guess I should put some more. I've got any platform. Let's just build out a bit here. Cool. So we need a little bit of this in order to... Can you get me a bit? No. Set the recipe, don't we? Still a bit more. Oops. Go. So if we were to try and... Well, let's look at what different combos do. So if this was 2 prod, this was 2 speed. So, so 2 speed gets me 0.62, but costs 0.62. 2 prod, 2.21 to 0.26. 1 each, 0.4 to 0.4. On balance, it does look like that's the best one then. Oops. Obviously with the question, in fact, where do I put on there so I can at least remember the numbers? Anyway, yeah. So if you're making that, as you stand, 0.5 a second. So we would need to boost that by 0.4, 0.8, 1.2, 1.62. So could we get it to produce 2? Through some combination of magic. Well, we've got 1.3. 1.98, that is very close. Okay. And we could have one. We'll keep one of them on double prod so that it's more balanced the other way. Could I stick? Oh no, no room for efficiency. That's fine. We would then need to support that 15.2 ammonias. Okay. Ammonia. Yeah, that one. On its own, it produces 100. Okay. So, think about how we might balance that up. I guess we could... Why would I bother there? So I'm just gonna get rid of the ice, I think. Can't see recyclers. Do now. Okay. So we'd need to steal the brine from there, but that's not too problematic. And can I flip that round? Oh, I can. Cool. So we can actually have them basically touching, can we? Because we also need aluminium plate, so we're going to need to order that in. Do these need anything else? No, it's literally just stick it in the thing and you're done, aren't you? Okay. So can we arrange those around there? Because what do we need? We need spaces to put heat pipes down, I guess. So then that's not able to get any lithium, is it? Do that. Not working yet. So if there was like heat pipe, don't know why I left a gap there. Feels like this is going to become the planet of long-handed inserters. So that would be the output going from them. Why do I need a gap there? If I'm doing it like that. I don't really, do I? you were there... Ah, no, we are going to need a gap because we need to do inserting because it's a solid input, isn't it? But do I need them everywhere? Because that's a solid... Yeah, so we need something going down there at least. So we can do that. Well, actually just put them there, could I not? And then you need to be one further. Well, do you? You don't, do you? Because I can just put one there. That was there. And that was... No, that's the wrong place, isn't it? What am I trying to do with them? Because the storage chests do not need heat. So worst case we could do that, but it probably feels more appropriate. So we could bring your heat up from there somehow. So that one doesn't need a gap, except other than to give me somewhere to put the stuff out. So I'm thinking that I'm going to be running a heat pipe. Something like that, maybe? Because we obviously then need to underground it. We can chop all this away. Put the pump there. This needs to be a pipe here. Oh, it's already a pipe. Why didn't you say? So we've not heated that one. By doing that, this one seems to be the candidate for our little siphon. Let's just do that. What we're missing? We're missing power. Put that in there. Could I fit that across there? No. No, we've just got one ugly inserted there. That doesn't need heat. So these are all going to be the actual plate. Homomium plate. Lithium plate, I think so. We do need the inserter there, don't we? Sorry, the not inserter. The Questa. Questa. Let's just make that 100. Could probably belt it over that. So now we need some way of getting rid of all the ice. And on now we're saying planting trees and harvesting them again, and the surplus wood goes into heating towers. Oh, really? Is that just to do that, as it were? Because I do wonder. I assumed it was balanced in a way that... Because I know you can use the captive biter spawners as like a pollution sink. And also, I guess, the agri-towers, or biochambers rather, to a degree. They're not actually... They don't absorb that much pollution, then, but they do absorb a bit. But yeah, I always wonder... I did sort of wonder whether... you know, the tree, like the energy and stuff required to plant trees. Well, that's the point. I never restarted my fish, legendary fish thing. I could do that. I'm going back to names. Yeah, the energy required to do that, as it were, was more than the pollution you made, as it were. In other words, so because obviously your trees absorb pollution, so effectively you're turning pollution back into into dead trees, and then if you harvest the trees, or rather the pollution is killing the trees, so while they're growing, I assume the juvenile trees absorb pollution. So as they grow, in other words, they sort of suck up a bit of pollution, and then you're sort of turning it into wood. If you then burn that wood, you're turning that into pollution. So I assume there's like more pollution produced through that loop than not, but you never know. So what I could do here, it's a bit jank-tabulous, but we could have like a sort of a bit of a chain there. And then if this is filtered to ice. Oh, I can't do one of them, can I? I have to do stacks. I think we've undone it because I can copy the set. Let's have a few of them because how many is it going to produce? 10 ice a second. And what will you consume? What's the ice recycle recipe? 0.2 ice. I don't get the 0.2 bit, I must admit. Does that mean it runs at 20% speed? So in other words, but the craft time is like 0.03, so that would be multiplying it. But so craft time would be 0.15 then, but then it has half a crafting speed, so it'd be 0.3 a second, I think. But it's a bit weird how they've done the maths on the recyclers. Crafting time 0.03, but it only does. We could just stick one in and see what. Stick a bit of ice in, see what it comes up with. In fact, we've got one running here, presumably. So there you go. It's actually chunking through 4 a second, however the maths works out on that. So 3 of them should, in theory, be able to process 12. Ideally, I'd not want to put all of them in the one recycler, though. So, maybe, mayhaps, because I can make this pipe longer, there's no problem there. We do that. Oops. And then I didn't actually grab the platform, did I? Oh! That should be higher than that. At some point, you know, I would say this is kind of this problem of this playthrough, in that there's a bit of an element of yeah, the platform's not that quick to produce, so if I wanted to play here longer term, I'd want to have loads of it and stockpile it and then sort of come back. But I'm not bothered with any of that. So let's just do a reverse feed on them, I guess, or could even do extra one. How far will that stretch? Only to there. Okay. Could put one on the end. Could I? Or will that box up? Oh, is that that's a real bit of ice? Okay. Because I haven't got any. Whatchamacallit's on me? Any water pumps? Are we even bringing water pumps here? I wonder. It must be. It must be. Have I got any in storage? Yeah, loads. Missed. So will you fit there? No, you won't. That's annoying, isn't it? Oh. In that case, oh, I can't do that anyway, because then there's 3. There'd be 3 in a row. wouldn't be able to heat them. Oh, and that's overlapping, isn't it? What have you done there, you idiot? So, move that down one. There we go. Will you let me put one there now? Or one over? Yeah. There we go. Just absolutely drowning in ammonia, which is what we'd expect. I mean, this is way overkill because of how slow this is going to actually produce stuff, and that's not powered. Can I put it somewhere where everyone gets power? No. Okay. Now, let's say we put a limit on this one, so that's down at 5, so if we maybe make that 200. And make these 1,000. Why don't I copy that one? That's 10,000, not 1,000. Yeah, lots of spoilage and fruit stuff, leftover seeds, okay. Yeah, it produces a lot of seeds, doesn't it? And the eggs need to go somewhere if I have too many. Maybe the point 2 is the weirdly rounded 25% return from the recycler. Cycling recipes are indeed a bit confusing, yeah. It's all sort of, especially with these have a crafting time of 0.5, it's very strange, because all the recycling recipes pretty much are like super quick. But then the machine itself, and I think the idea of that is so that when you turn up on Factorio and you hand recycling, you know, it's super quick. You're not stood there. You don't have to go and make a cup of tea in order to do the next bit of Factorio. And then they've decided for some reason they wanted the recycler to be slower than handcrafting. I don't know why. As I say, it's like it seems strange decision in a sense. I mean, you can obviously put speeds in it, you know, make it pretty much, you know, one crafting speed, but I guess maybe they slow down a bit as well from, because don't quality modules slow you down? Yeah, but it's only 5%. So I don't know. But you could have done that with, you know, just, you know, normal ones. It doesn't matter. You know. Yeah. As is not to reason why. As is to put bite eggs into a furnace and get rid of them. Cool. Okay. So that's a bit of extra lithium production. Just because that's something that, you know, we seem to be in sudden desire to move around the system for whatever reason. Well, it's still not quick, but it's a lot more than what this was doing. Oh, we've actually made a fusion reactor in all that time. I bet that's because there was a stockpile of processors when I was messing about. Doing some plate there. How many of these have we got then? 3. Oh, cool. So the only bit we're not doing. So we might as well make some, whatever it's called, of this as well. You know, because it's all sort of fusion. Unless I did make that already, did I? No. So what I guess I could pinch this ammonia here, couldn't I? Because otherwise it's lithium plate and holmium plate. Oh. Could have done it a lot better then, couldn't I? Because we've got the holmium coming in there as well. Oh well. But yeah, we'll just sort of stick it on here somewhere. And sort of, whatever's going into the lithium chests for this one, we'll just sort of steal, basically. I might actually do a direct insert as well. So if we were to put some there, then what are we making that in? We're making that in a cryo plant. So that was going there. That work, we could possibly do it there. I could maybe do one of those speedrunner style forwards and backwards inserting. What with me being a pro speedrunner and all. Okay, so that would get it the holmium plate nice and easy. We could simply spaghettify this. Why have I not got set the recipe? How would we do that? What's a good way? If we... That's not quite going to work, is it? So this, I said this was overkill, so why don't we move it up a bit? And then I can take the heating pipe slightly somewhere around. So if we... Why have they got filters on? Oh, yeah. Because otherwise I'm sticking there. So we've probably thrown a load of the raw resource away. But yeah, if we kind of take these, in fact I could move that up then. What I need is platform on that over there, and I didn't actually grab any more concrete, did I? So I could move this one up. Get rid of that. And now that gives me a little bit of room to mess about with heat pipes, basically. So if the heat pipes are going down there, I'll probably turn that like that, couldn't we? Just do that little bit underneath. Oops. Oh! It's ammonia, not... Oh, okay. Idiot. How am I going to get that out then? Am I moving this whole thing slightly right? I think I am, aren't I? Okay. So that first bit of moving was sort of irrelevant. Except that I disconnected this. We'll take it up to there. So it's out of the way then. But this, we need to hook up to these. How are we going to do that then? If I moved it... No, if I turned it... no, there's no room, is there? So we need that to move down one. So then this would have to be... Probably right, just doing that straight, I think. I could restore that to where it was. I don't want to bother, let's just get rid of that altogether. Spaghetti that round. We do need a heat pipe there. And then, if that was connected to that, Put it away. Picked it up like that. So, this is making these. Which means we need to go underground to... Oops. There, say. Why have you stopped? Because you're frozen. Oh, okay. Because I'm making a lot more of a mess than I need to now. But then I should have designed it in the beginning, shouldn't I? Oh. Maybe. Okay. So that pipe is frozen. If we just run it that way. What are you missing? You're missing your whole bin. Which is going to be that one, but for some reason I put in a regular chest. Now, do we get any bonuses on this one? Oh, we can. Okay. .67 a second. But then that's a... oh no, that is a full thing. I can't remember how many I ordered in there. On the ships, but let's just set it to... oh, it's cheap as chips, really, isn't it? So, that's right. Set that to, I don't know, 500. I'm making 500 regular nuclear ones. So, I don't know, what's a reasonable number? Haven't a clue. Depends how quickly I burn them, I guess. I could set one up, couldn't I? I mean, didn't we make some? Yeah, I made one of them. And 4 of them. Might as well give one a go, I guess. Let's also grab 2 of them. While we're here, mine as well. Don't know how I feel about the soundtrack. You mentioned in the soundtrack like ages ago. It just popped back into my head. Some of the tracks I love, some of the tracks I'll be honest, I hate. It's not like the normal soundtrack. Oh, of course, the reason I'm barreling it. Ah, yeah, of course. So it's actually fluoroketone it takes in, doesn't it? Is that right? We need the fuel. No input fluid. Does it not show fluid boxes on them as well then? Okay. But then we would put, say, 2 of them on. And this has this weird pass-through. Let's put them on that side so I'm not quite making such a mess. So I could move it, I could do a long-handed to reach that over. And then like that. And then we have the hot stuff comes out and we want to put the cold stuff in. But isn't it... So consumption for a second, output for a second for plasma. Consumption to a second, output to a second. And this is perfect conversion, isn't it? Assuming we don't do any prod. It makes sense, you doing this, it makes sense why these don't have an inbuilt prod bonus. Because it's producing a fluid that, you know, they've set the recipe up to be balanced. If it had an inbuilt prod bonus, things could go wonky quite easily. But it'll only go wonky now if you start putting modules or beacons or what have you in. Interesting. Because it all seemed a bit, you know, weird that this one didn't have a 50%. I mean, I suppose it would still balance out, sort of. Because if they were both having a 50% bonus, then that would be fine. But this, of course... Yeah, no, that should be fine. Interesting. So yeah, we then need a couple of these guys. I'm starting to get a bit freer with the whole builds, I think. Do these not need to be temperature then? You don't need to heat them up. I guess, I mean that makes sense because obviously they're running at what was it, 1,000,000 degrees or something? Yeah, target temperature 1,000,000 degrees. So you don't need to heat them with heating towers. So that makes perfect sense, but yeah, interesting. So what I need is like a cryo plant that's going to do hot to cold. Oh no, I don't, do I? I just need one that's going to cool it down. And I need to put in enough for it to get it running. So I could literally just put it, you know, well, wherever the things need it to be. So that's cooling down the fluoroketones. So if we put it, I don't know, there somewhere. Now this one obviously does need cooling down, in which case, can we just flip this around somehow? That was the wrong flip. Yeah, it's going to be messy, isn't it? Yeah, so let's not bother with that. But then I could put this... I just stuck on in, couldn't I? Are any of those overlapping? So that gets those two, but not that one. Yeah, so if you stick them together like that, you're not going to get alignment with the pipes, but that doesn't matter. Except I need to get heat in if they're not aligned. So if it was there, that would be the easiest, because then I can just run one, oops, there, and then that'll be the output. Or maybe I flip it round, saves the, put it there sort of thing. But then these pipes need some heating as well, don't they? So let's just... But it's only this building and these pipes that need doing. Except we obviously need to charge it, but then we can use this for conveniently placed. In fact, it's not going to matter if I use either, because I just need to sort of fill it up. Nope, wrong one. Oops! Oh, there's no concrete. Story of my life, that. There's no concrete. So we just go... Still no concrete. Around like that. Oop. Oh, right, I hit one there. Always something, eh? Always something. So yeah, eventually we'll connect that across. Because this is just going to output. Oh! That's an input, not an output. That's better. I can't tell how much... Oh! So the bar says it's got stuff in it. So I think we're okay. And then... just do that. So they're pumping. We disconnect that. Hey! Start producing electric trickery power by fusion power plant. Cool! I didn't know that was an achievement. So no fluoroketone in now. But I assume anything that gets put in is going to go just loop round, and it's like a perfect loop. So because these are, I mean, I suppose the holmium's an input thing, isn't it? But these, oh, these are just, you know, resources that you pump out. So there is no, yeah, okay. What I will probably do is also add this on here. That was surprisingly easy. I was not expecting it to be easy. A lot of fluoroketone in it. Have we got any... Oops. Yes. When things are surprisingly easy, I usually end up thinking I've done it wrong somehow. I'd quite like it to just be a bit in there. Basically. Not a lot, but just like a little bit of a reservoir. Just in case of wonkiness. Seems to be, you know, full of plasma. That pipe's not overflowing. We've now got 6.4. How much does it hold? 1,000. Although that's the total. So what's it in each one? 7, 14... Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Cool. Oh, I don't know that I needed that power. But yeah, it's basically sort of free electricity, isn't it? Essentially. So it's like the equivalent of solar in a sense, because it's just like two liquids that are always going to be there. So I assume they do the whole declining productivity. But so long as you can input, you know, holmium, then you're kind of sorted, really. Cool. How many did I say? 500. Isn't this smarter as well? I seem to remember. I don't know. Does it just burn it? Because it says consumption 1.5 of 4. Yeah. So it even just manages the fuel. You don't even have to bother with all the smarts. Crikey. Got the big demolisher achievement today. Oh, cool. Did you? What did you hit it with? Because if you, well, this is one of the things I did do during my cheating period. I was just messing around with the things. Is basically a couple of legendary shots from a legendary railgun. Just, you know, it would kill a big demolisher from just a couple of hits, particularly if you hit it down, obviously down the body. And obviously they're difficult to produce. Well, the ammo's not that difficult, but you know, you have to roll the dice quite a lot to get some legendary railguns. But even that, I mean, it's not that expensive, the handcrafted one. Yeah. So yeah, I know from doing it that you just obliterates them basically, which is kind of part of the point of it. It's the part of, you know, what it's for basically is just, oh, I need to expand. I can't be bothered to do 200 turrets and 1,000 mines and throw a load of poison. I'll just railgun it. Right, so I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we've even made another fusion reactor and 4 of them, so we could do that on a platform. In which case, do we want to take some to Nalvis? Just in case. I believe, is Sweet Ride here? No, it's gone back home. Oh yeah, this had all the combat ones on. I wonder how many of those I've made. Available on Planet Zero, available on Planet Zero. So I've not made a single legendary... Because there's another one I could set up another grinding one. Because there is that achievement, isn't there, for the solar... You know, build a legendary armour and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not sure I can be bothered with that. Okay, well, let's bring you back. So you can come and pick me up. And we'll head back to Nalvis. I do just want to check... well, this isn't doing that great, is it? Oh, did we do the last... So we've done captive biters, so in theory we could do that as well, but again, am I going to bother, or am I just going to get to the solar system edge? It does look like we've done the explosive that one though, so we can have a quick look, see if it's if it is two-shotting big asteroids. How about we just stick on a round of prod bonuses just to have something for it to chunk through. Isn't there low there is low density structure as well. That's annoying. Well, let's not do the plastic then. Let's just do... In fact, let's do that one last. Cool. Just so that something's queued up and it's chugging away. I didn't say what the silly thing I'd done. Basically, when I was messing about, because I've been, as I said, putting quality things on. And this is my... I need to replace this for the blue circuits here. So I could do that. But when I was doing these, I managed to get some of the, you know, ones doing... Because I've stuck some quality ones in at the end. Just to give it a bit of a feed of some, you know, random bits of circuits and stuff like that. And I hadn't put the filters on when I put the thing. I keep doing this over and over again. And basically it therefore put like a couple of dozen green, so what's that, uncommon green circuits on. And they'd fed all the way through around the bus and ended up here. And it wasn't... I've extended this in order to find out what was going on. But there were basically like 6 uncommon green circuits there. And so this had stopped. And so basically my entire green science, logistics science, had ground to a halt because it wasn't getting any inserters. And then all of my science had stopped for like, must have been about half an hour or so. So yeah. I just can't get into my... Well, it's because you haven't... You know, the loss of the filter inserter just means that every inserter you have to set it before, like, placing it, basically. So you have to mess about, you know, doing that, and then use the filter and set whatever you want. Feels like it's like... But if it went down with use filter enabled, then you'd have to go through every single other... You know, you're going to do more non-filtered inserters than you are filtered inserters. So yeah, I can see why it's... You know, I haven't done something like that, but... Oh my god. I then went round on all the green circuit belts and sort of found... So it must have been about 30 in total. Uncommon green circuits on the bus. Just my good old railgun with legendary ammo. What if railgun itself even matters? It is only the range that improves, you're right. Legendary railgun just improves range, but with damage upgrades in science, you don't even need legendary ammo. Does crazy damage by itself with a few upgrades. Okay. Almost forgot about the research. I mean, I have done a lot of it, but my brain didn't associate with the handheld. Sometimes rotate the inserter before I place them, and then rotate them back when filtered. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, I mean, basically the advantage with the railgun, because I was running around without whatever it's called, the armour on. So I was basically on the other side of a massive lava lake when I was shooting at this big demolisher, without the ability to properly run away, and so it just lets you shoot them from a very long way away, and so they're basically dead before they even realise you're attacking them. See how I'm saying that? The only reason I used the legendary one, plus of course I'd spawned it in, so it was just easier to use. But yeah, the range on them just gets nuts basically when you have legendary, because it's 40 to start with. Now what does it go up to? 60 range. Half as much again. So I say you can basically shoot them and guarantee, because obviously a big one as well is very long. But yeah, that was the only advantage from that. Just trying to think if there's anything else worth doing here. I mean, we might as well basically head back. Are you here yet? No, you're wrong one. You're on the way. Okay. What did we end up with here? Have we got any bits and pieces made? No. So we've got plenty of them. I could basically get rid of the stock of crushers and stuff and maybe, you know, crunch them through and see if we can roll the dice on any better ones. Because it'd be nice to get more purple at the least. Okay, let's have a quick go on that then. So, I had some ones I just set up here. I kept this running because obviously landing pads we don't need. Eventually we'll end up with enough randomly generated stuff. Oh, that's fun. I haven't done concrete. Yeah, so that's that one. So if we turn that on, how many of those we've got? So we've got 15 in storage. Cool. Could probably crunch through a couple of those as well. So if we go on the way 4. Yep, so if we turn that back off. Just sort of to get rid of the ones that are covering my, you know, because I do that thing where I set the limit based on what's on in the logistics system. $50, crikey. So we might as well get rid of some of them. None of them. Cool. How many you do? Oh yeah, we can turn you back off. 0 and turn off the safety. Let it chug through a few of them. What about landing things? 40 of them, 14 of them. Okay. Put that on. See what happens. At 42. Because obviously every time it builds one, there's a chance it levels up. So you've got now 4 of them. 43, crikey. In fact, what ones? I don't suppose I've made. Oh, I wouldn't have done because, yeah, we don't have any quality reduction. We might have flipped a couple just from recycling. No. 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 Right, how are we doing? Still 47, crikey. Still 40 of them. Why are you not doing anything? Oh, okay. I think the bots have been using this as a dump. In fact, I don't know why those aren't active providers. Wow, that's a lot of gears. That feels like I've done something stupid. I know they were here. I don't think I'm reprocessing them, am I? No, I'm not. So we need one of these for gears and one for pipes. I need to work out the parameterization stuff. Yeah, what have we got? Oh, according to that, there's none in storage. Okay. It's a bit inconsistent with how you set some of the things. So these, because when it's like a machine recipe, it completely scrubs it, so it doesn't keep the whatever you've set for the quality or anything like that. But if it's a filter, then it does keep the quality. So I keep setting things and then realising it works differently, basically. It's all a bit difficult to get used to. Did I do all? I did do all ears then. Yeah. So if we do pipes here. That's regular pipes, all the pipes in. Got to be part of it's got to be like part of it, the design as it were, but the whole massive productivity of the new buildings has got to be part of this whole thing, because it's like, what kind of concept of just burning stuff in order to get better quality doesn't really work unless you've got a building that's just giving you tons of free stuff and, like, you know, an entire planet where you can just make infinite, you know, metal without even thinking about it. So we've got that. Pipe. It's there. Yeah. So yeah, 26,000 gear wheels in stock. Okay. 5,600. Green ones. 800 blue ones. Cool. Should probably put that a bit higher actually. I wonder if this will help me make other things. Wow. 7,800 uncommon pipes. That's a lot of uncommon pipes. Cool. Okay, so that gets rid of some of them. Now, you guys, what did you do? Ah, I guess that's why that's filling up with crap as well. Right. So, are you actually? Oh, you've eaten them all. Okay. Let's turn you off then. Wasn't intending for you to eat them all. Cool. I mean, there are things down here to actually directly make them, which is why I don't mind burning these. But they're all very dependent on, you know, things that I'm not actually being very successful at making. Green one there, green crusher. Cool. Okay. I assume our spaceship arrived. Cool. So throw me a drink on myself. Right then, let's, in the last hour, have a go. I don't know if you can see the flight path of the thing there. And then, boop, you disappear. Right, so set that back to automatic. I didn't bring up, did I? I didn't bring up the things. Okay. Let us take it off automatic then. And... oh no. Let's do it this way. So if we go here, we do a special request for one of your fusion reactors. These. And 2 of your fusion generators. What's the rocket capacity? 5, so we want 2 there. You send those. Yeah, so hopefully what condition did I put on them? Just the temperature one. Cool, okay. So we've got the option, I guess, of using I think I might just use it anyway for funsies. I would need to process some fluoroketone, wouldn't I? But it's self-contained, and this doesn't even. Those don't even have any waste stuff, do they? They don't have. No, so it doesn't even leave a. Wow, that is such a simple thing compared to regular fusion power. Interesting. Okay, have we got both of these? Got that? We got that. Yeah, cool. Maybe we should order up some. Whatchamacallit as well then, just so that we can kind of get it running. So we would need what? The fuel. What do they stack to? It also stacks to 50. And how much fluoroketone have we got on the planet? Not enough to fill one rocket. Okay, why is that then? Because it should have been chugging away. I guess maybe some of the other ones? Oh, I guess, yeah. It's not really producing a lot, is it? Maybe I should chuck in another. I can't do rods? No. So you're not getting it quick enough. Do prods on there. How about we speed it up instead? Especially now we've just put some fusion reaction power. I don't know what all these governments are worried about with fusion power. It's basically a piece of... Okay. So that's going to take ages then, basically, isn't it? So how about we... And we don't need a lot. We just need to fill it up. We just need to prime it. So how about we do a custom payload of 50. Have we got that already? We got that already. Available on the planet 500. Wow. Well, it would be churlish not to get some more then. Oh dear. Hello, Rocket Man Chronicles. Happy Sunday indeed. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Sunday and a good weekend and a good start to your new year. Okay, got them in. Now we're doing 50 on the way. Was that it? That was it. Cool. So let's head to Malvis. I think most of my good number of my platforms are basically going around pooping spent nuclear fuel and spoilage just all over the place. I think quite a few of my planets are. I don't think it's like a lot. But even ones where they don't have nuclear fuel and stuff. Surprised there's nothing in there. It might be. I need to put. I tried to mess around with an automated system for ordering, and it sort of works. I done the Volcanus one. So this is the one. It sort of works, but you get some weird to understand things. So basically, the way this is set up is that it's reading the logistics network. And the logistics network doesn't include the contents of this, basically. So if things are in here, although they are in the logistics system, they don't count in this when you do the read network contents. So basically, there are 8 prod modules in here that are fulfilling the request, because this has got a request set up for 92 prod modules. Well, sorry, for 100 prod modules, and it's got 92. Okay, so if we look on, where would be the easiest way to see that? So if we look here, so the -100 means request them in. Make sure you've always got 100 prod modules, basically, in the logistics network. And there are 92 in the network. So the difference is 8. So it is making a request. I'm doing a thing here, I'm like reversing the number, because you can't put a negative number here, it just ignores it basically. So I'm just flipping it round. So basically the difference is 8, so it's making a request for 8. It won't drop any more down from the platforms because it's fulfilled that request. That request is there. In the same way that all of these sit in the inventory here. So you've got the gun turrets and the bullets and da-da-da-da-da. But you get stuff like that. It's like Well, that's it's obviously doing the combination, so that's why it's 600. But they sit in the inventory of the thing unless they're there. But they don't then count in this. This doesn't count them as being in the logistics network content. Now, what you can do is flip this to read content. So then you could add them together and get correct numbers. But it's one of these radio button ones. So you can't set the requests and read the contents, basically. So it gives you these sorts of strange things. And it took me ages to really work that out and understand that. That basically it looks like it's requesting 8 from a platform, but it's got 8 in stock, so it won't actually drop any more down. Obviously, if a bot comes and takes these, or if I just sort of right click on that, move them in, there'll be a weird thing here because it's basically, it'll do some maths as it puts them in, I think. Where did you put those, bot? Should have 100 in now. Why is that not working? Where has it put those? Because we've got a request for 100. We're still only at 92. Where has the bot put them then? So a bot's come and taken them away and put them somewhere I don't know. Why are they not in? Maybe there was a request. There couldn't have been. Where has that bot put them? That is what's happening. But as I say, I don't know why it's not got the total going up to 100 now. Why is that still sat on 100 on 92? Because we've got -8 there. Output is -8. Now that should be okay then. I don't know. As I say, this is why I was struggling with it so much, because it's like it doesn't behave logically. So some bot has come and taken them and put them in a chest somewhere, I assume. Would they have gone in one of these? They might have gone in a buffer chest somewhere. Because buffer chests, it doesn't quite count properly. Where have they gone then? So if we go L, rod, oh, L, do the search, rod, oops. So where have those 8 gone then? So there's 92 in there. So a bot's come and eaten 8 modules, basically, somehow. As I say, this is why I struggle, and this is what I want to be able to do. I want to basically be able to say, if I can't, we're still not now, this. If I can't tell the Nalvis that I need them and have them ordered that way, then I can at least tell a platform that's floating around exactly what I need, rather than having, you know, default set. Because what I was hoping to do as well, because that's just a default list, is basically read the logistic network requests as well. But that doesn't appear to include construction orders. Yeah, why have I got a random combinator there? So yeah, it all got a bit sort of brain breaking, basically. So I still don't understand why there were 8 in there. Or am I going? Unless I'm going completely insane. There were 8 in there, and it was fulfilling that request, therefore. And it took them away, and now it doesn't. So I guess maybe it does count them in there. But then why would that end up with? Because there were 92 in this chest, weren't there? There's 92 in that chest. And there were 8 in there. So maybe there weren't 92 in that chest. I wonder if I could test that with something else. I wonder what else I could test that with. That'd be a useful thing to... So the Spidertron there then. Where is the chest? So we've got a spider chest here. It's got 4 Spidertrons in. If we hit L, search for spider. So it's counting it as 5. Okay. So it is counting the ones in there. Oh. So is that then, if I then go, take that off, go here, sorry, here. No, there you go, you see, the red signal is 4. The red signal is the one coming from the... oh no, the red signal is coming from the thing. So what's the green signal then? Where's my Spidertrons? Ah, that is 5. Okay. Huh. So why... What was going wrong there then? So it was counting the... So it must have been that there were, whatever it would be, 86 would it be, in that chest. And so the 8 in here made it up to 92. So I think what... Yeah, okay. I'm not sure how I would do that then. So if there were 100, you see... So it sort of works, so long as the stuff isn't in here, basically, I think, with how I've set it up. Because when it does this control by circuit network, that is looking at the contents of this. Because it's what the platform is trying to fulfill. So if it's then sat in there, yeah, it sort of works, but doesn't. It works so long as the stuff isn't in here, basically. Annoying. Okay, so we're at Elvis, I think, are we? Yeah. So let's drop back down. I've done the wrong thing. Hello, X-Island. Welcome. As you're somewhat close to finishing the game, what is your planet tier list in terms of how much you enjoy them so far? A good question. I don't think my view has changed too much since, sort of my initial, shall we say, thoughts on the matter, as it were. So I think my biggest change is I actually, surprisingly, rate Aquilo quite high. I'm sort of a bit surprised by that. I didn't think I would like that heat mechanic, but it's an interesting wrinkle to work around, and I think I'm going to quite enjoy coming out with like builds that I can use, just like self-compact builds with heat pipes that run through them, and like a proper self-starting thing, for if I mess up with get overloaded. So a bit surprised that I enjoyed that as much as I did. In terms of the other planets, I don't think the order is any different to what I anticipated, which is basically Fulgora, Volcanus, and then Gleba. I do enjoy the mechanic on Gleba. I said this right. That's nothing to do with the spoilage and the just in time or anything like that. I quite enjoy that part of it, and designs that work and all that sort of stuff. The bit I don't like about Gleba is the terrain, because building on it is just really constrained in a horrible way, and quite annoying. It's like, for example, these patches here. I just don't like this. It's like too visually messy, and everything's like pink, so you can't really tell what's going on, and building these is a pain because you've got to get all the the soil, and you've also then got the super soil, which I haven't touched because it involves sending biters here, and I just don't like building here. which is why I've gone bot-based, basically. But in terms of the thinking around the mechanic, although I've kind of brute forced my way through it, but I think I'd like to give... It's like I'd like to give a belt-based base a go, or direct insertion. But the fact you can only build smoothly on this terrain, and even then you've got blooming cliffs in the way all over the place. It's just, it's this stuff. It's the whole bits of shallow... Are they shallow sea? I can't remember. But, where you've got tiny little bits of water that you can't really even see that they're water because they're, on some very similarly coloured bit of thing. And that's the bit I find annoying about Clever. It's not the actual mechanic of spoilage. I actually kind of enjoy that. But then Volcanus is the same in quotes because you've obviously got the cliffs all over the place and ridiculous amount of cliffs on it, and then the lava's really annoying, and I can only now just build on the lava basically with the whole foundation, and that's staggeringly expensive and But the thing with these is you can actually you can get the demolishers, which is why I've got... In fact, I don't know what that is. I guess that's a landmine or something, isn't it? But you can get the demolishers to destroy all this. It's a bit annoying because it does alerts, but if you just plop down, say, a belt, basically, next to a cliff, then they'll wipe it out for you, and then they basically clear it out. It takes ages, and so it's annoying with the number of alerts, but you can basically get them to do that, and then you come and kill them. And I quite enjoy I suppose I've solved it in a sense now. I quite enjoy the puzzle of how do you kill a demolisher, basically. That's quite interesting. This is a planet, it's just, in a sense, it's like a bit too simple. The whole, lava into metal. And then, I think mainly because it just lets you throw stuff in the lava. If this required you to do recycling to get rid of it, maybe. I'm not entirely sure I'm a fan of the recycling mechanic. It works a lot, I think, with the quality. But it does just feel like I've done on Aquilo, where it's just like, oh, I don't want this ice, I just want to do the thing. Just do a chain of recyclers. It's sort of a bit too cheaty, Is this all... Why have you stopped? You stopped because... Oh. Because you're absolutely jam-packed with lithium. Cool. But yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that. I didn't think I'd enjoy Aquilo quite in the way I have. So, where would I put that? Fulgora I just really like because I love ironically, the scrap recycling. Having said I don't like recyclers. I quite... This puzzle, basically, is like really interesting, I think. The plateaus are... It's a constrained build. It's another building constraint, but it's a very different one. It's very much not the same. I mean, doing the rails on there was pretty annoying, I would say, trying to get through these gaps. But it gives a very good reason to use, elevated rails. But yeah, it's a different sort of constrained building. It's not nice having these internal cliffs, but it's not the same as the Gleba constraint, where you can't just lay a belt. It turns into 15 pieces of underground when you don't want it to, Where would I put Aquilo then? Would I put it above Fulgora? Because it's threat free. I don't know. They're probably on a par. And I've not really done a lot on Aquilo, so maybe I'll find it annoying when if I have to do like trains or something to get to distant islands, that sort of thing. But then that sounds like it'd be quite interesting sending, fuel and stuff to them. I think I'd go with Fulgora first, then Aquilo, then Volcanus, then Gleba. Where would I put Nauvis in that list? The problem with Nauvis is it's too familiar with it, I've said this before, I really love the new terrain gen. I think that works really, really well. But Nauvis without cliff explosive at all, and without artillery until quite late on. Not sure I'm a fan in that way. I'd have to play Navis version 2 on its own, which is my next planned playthrough on stream. But I think I would go... Oh, would I put Fulgora and Aquila above Navis? That's a really good question, this. Where would I put it? I guess because there's the hyper familiarity thing with Navis. I'll put it in the middle of the pack. But I also, I don't know. It feels like we were saying this on stream yesterday that I often get to a point where it becomes like a daunting chore to rebuild my base. It's partly why, and I still haven't done the videos for when I was doing the playthrough on the pre-release, but this is effectively a starter base, that I've just kept expanding as a make everything more. And it's why it's got separate smelting and all that, and separate oil and all that sort of stuff. Although I'm actually just using that oil again, but this is then a second base. Basically, this is a science base essentially, and it's that type of thing. You suddenly get it's like with cryolabs I should be starting to use here, and I've not even thought about how I would use biolabs, and I haven't bothered replacing most of it. I've got a couple of designs that I've tweaked together, but it sort of forces you into that right now. Completely rebuild your base because your old machines are just completely useless, and there's not a single quality EMP or throw that in the mix. It feels like now this could become a chore in a sense because it's just so much rebuilding, and that's not something I enjoy. But that's a reflection really of my playstyle to some extent. So yeah, I'd probably go Fulgora, Quillo, Navis in Space Age, Volcanus, Gleba. It feels a bit harsh on Volcanus. I do like it. It just feels a bit... There's not a challenge. I wouldn't say there's a challenge in the way that Fulgora and Aquila do, or Gleba even. But I say Gleba challenge annoyed me. So, well, no, the challenge there didn't annoy me. The building did. Hello, Miwa. I don't know how to pronounce that. Has he? I think. Hello. Can you help me with the rocket logic? I don't know. What do you need help with? But welcome. I hope you're doing well. Apologies if that comment was a long time ago. If I have been prattling along. Research. The first time I got to Gleba, I was like, wait, what is even the reason I can't build stuff on here? And it turned out that it was water and was camouflage for the rest of the tiles. So yeah, I get that. Hello, Smiles. I hope you're doing well. Sorry I didn't see you comment. I was, again, prattling away. I hope you're having a good afternoon, good Sunday. I agree. Before I could never play with Cliffs on Navis. Now I can't imagine playing without them. Love the new terrain gen. Yeah, new terrain makes me feel jolly. Hellos. I don't really don't know. I do really love all the planets rather. I feel I love Volcanus the most. I know a lot of people do. I say I do fully get it. I say because if you put them in a list, order, it feels like Volcanus is the only one I would say is where it had a thing I didn't enjoy was Gleba because of the terrain, nothing to do with the spoilage mechanic, and I've solved that by going bots and therefore going there last. So even that's a solved problem in a sense. But so that was the bit I'd get them to get rid of the whole little tiny bits of shallow sea, and that feels like a map gen thing. One thing I really want is what you could use circuits for on a splitter. Build as much as I can in space, so have the base in space. Yeah, I'd love to do. I've written some. Well, that one's more like a set of ideas rather than a script. But basically, I kind of wish we could do. Basically, have your base in space, and that the base moves around. Picking up science packs if it has to, and that sort of thing, and having a building, or the buildings be more like effective or something in space would be pretty cool. Or when they're in space, I mean, I don't know how you'd implement it, but I'm stood right next to the rocket and it's blasting away. That basically, like the slowdown mechanic from prod modules or something like that, that it doesn't apply. That because heat is, actually heat is more difficult to manage in space, isn't it? But, whatever it is that's meant to be the mechanic that slows the buildings down doesn't apply or something like that. So, you can get insane, even more bonkers productivity, but of course building it is really, really costly, or maybe quality works better in space, or quality is literally restricted to space. There's all sorts of things I think I'd love to see a mod do. It's like I was saying when I did the retrospective thing, the whole concept they had of the build a massive spaceship that can take you back home is one I would, that's what I'd love a mod to do. And so the whole thing of having like arboretums in space where, they're trees that manage the oxygen and all that sort of stuff. I'd love to see a mod doing that. I'm glad it's not in the base game. I think it's too complicated, too much, but I think a mod is perfect territory. I have played 500 hours of this, and I have not gotten to the end fully yet, as I have been playing with circuits and had a lot of fun in them. You somewhat can. You build everything in space that you can, and only build what you can't on the planet. I feel that space exploration will work more on. I'm not. Has there been an update from Arundel? Because I think there was a thing. I seem to remember he basically said that he's not going to so SpaceX is just going to be a version 2 mod, not a Space Age mod, as it were. Because this is what I'm worried about. I don't know if we will get full overhaul mods for Space Age, because it's like a narrowing of the audience, and it's also people adding even more complexity onto something that is complex. But you never know. Should we go up to whatever I called it, edging? We do need to bring up the fusion stuff, don't we? Did I drop that down? It's like the whole thing that platforms can't interact with platforms. I know, or I think someone told me there's a mod that already allows you to do that, but it just feels like no-brainer in a sense. They should be able to do that. Because it just makes more. I mean, it's how SpaceX works. SpaceX works, I suppose, in that it's sort of. So no, I haven't dropped them down to the planet. Let's do. Oops, not 2E. 2. Yeah, I really need to get on with that video. Because it'll start becoming irrelevant because people will have done the things I'm talking about. There they are. I'll drop that down as well. And let's see about bringing it up. So we need you to import some of that from there. So they give up to 100 megawatts, don't they? And question, I have no idea how much power the whatchamacallits are going to use. So we've got some 2 ones. Let's just pop that on there. Do I have a request for extra platform? No, I don't. Okay, let's move these down so I know they're different ones. Oh, of course, we've already got a better platform. Cool. So, what I'm thinking of doing is... so how much power are you drawing? I can't tell because I would need to change the interface zoom. Let's have a look in here then. Max consumption, excuse me, 5 megawatts. 5 megawatts. Okay. Wow. What's it like with a normal one then? One thing I wanted to do is walk on the space platform. So I think they changed it. You could actually walk on the space platform in editor mode. So if you went up, you could just get out and basically walk around. But yeah, it's another thing. I don't really know why they didn't put that in. It seems sort of obvious in a sense. The only thing I could think is they wanted to, because you could sort of die. You know, if you're sort of stood here trying to shoot asteroids to help out, as it were, and one comes in and smacks the platform, and obviously then, you know, it could chop off a bit of the platform if you've done, you know, a Swiss cheese type platform with, you know, lots of gaps and stuff. You could end up, you know, trapped on a bit of platform that's, you know, gone or disappearing or what have you. And so dying would be quite a complicated proposition, I think, if you're on a platform. Just wandering around. I suspect that's why, but I don't really know. It just does seem a little bit of a... The first thing you're going to want to do is get out and walk around, isn't it? Cool, so I think I can pretty much deconstruct... No. What I need... well, let's deconstruct these, because we know that they're sort of surplus things. But what I wanted to do, if I can... So, if I take a copy of that, if I pop it over here, and then also... I didn't copy it, did I? Cut and pasted it. If I do that... Was it next to it? Yeah. Do that, then I can blueprint it. Like so. What symbol am I going to give it? One of them. Oops. If I create a little book. Okay. So these are like the bits and pieces so that I don't lose them. I mean, I can obviously copy them off the other platforms, but... if we do... Which one? Because these are basically the same design. I just fitted them in with, you know, various different tweaks to the... you know, to get the belts to work and all that sort of stuff. So, if I maybe take that one... And then pop that down over there. And we take a little blueprint of that, I think. This is where I should be messing about with parameterization, but I don't want to risk doing something dumb. Right. I say they're all the same basic arrangement. Difficulty with them is I don't think we've got the crushers. So if we get rid of all of this stuff. Cool. Oh yes, I was going to look at... So, doesn't it change the power consumption? Just the range goes up from... Oops. Range of 40. Range of 40. Pardon? Oh, range 44. Oh, that's because that's the default one. So it's not actually giving me much extra thing, is it? It's not a massive improvement in range. It's worth having, I guess. But it's not going to be a problem if I, you know, use the normal ones, I think. As, you know, where I need to. Cool, okay. Now, what I wanted to do here is put back your grabber arm. Like that. No, oops. Like that? Yeah, it's like that. And then we can... No. Cut and paste. Now, where's a repeating unit? It's got to be with the undergrounds, hasn't it? Yeah, because that's 3 on either side. So does that fit on top? It does. Cool. So we know that that is a functioning sort of slice of grabber and gun and rocket. In which case I should change that. And I don't think this will work at all with putting railguns on, but worth keeping it. I didn't adjust that, so this is about the crushers. So that's the crusher one. Cool. So now we can kind of get rid of... I'm not going to bother with the corners, I just jerry-rigged the corners together. Get rid of all of that. Same with the back end. It's just a sort of... throw it all together, it's not a designed piece of the platform, really. So it's all of them. Cool. Get rid of some more of these guys. Now, I guess this is a section, isn't it? So if we take out that, for example, where are you going? You're the... that's the ammo belt, isn't it? So I think I can just blueprint that straight off. Boop. We still haven't fixed that. So this is the thrusters. The thrusters. So we know that that works, and works well. Relatively well. I have to adjust some of these because I don't have the parts. It's sort of a weird reason. Go. So that's that. Oh, it had some things in, didn't it? Yeah, we could leave them in. Always replace them. Cool. So that's that. We've now got this bit. Now we know that this again functions perfectly well, but there's a lot of extraneous voltage going on that we could probably rework. Again, do I need... so I probably need to take that bit. Let's leave some of that. Like that. And then that's extra requirements. Cool. So this makes the ammo, and I mean, at the very least, I got this for numbers. And then rockets. So let's call that ammo and rockets. What else we got? So get rid of that. Guess we could take all of that out. Do I just keep this as one big lump? I mean, we know numbers-wise this produces enough to feed that ammo. And the railgun ones... but I need more steel and more copper cable. And copper cable. Okay, so let's... no, did that wrong. Let's take a copy of that. And so, well, foundries is fine, isn't it? Cool. No. Put that there. Any other bits? Well, that's a crusher. We've already got one of them. Okay. Okay. So, there we are. The thing I don't really like about Clever is that the base Yamako and Jelly Brain soil is the base Yamako and Jelly Brain soil. Even if the margin of spoilage is huge, it still makes me not want to expand too much. Maybe if those base ingredients wouldn't spoil, and it would just be more complex processing materials, and after turning stuff into mash and jellies. Where is it? Base Yamako. Oh, I see. So is that the base Yamako and jelly brain? I read that as soil. It's a meaning there, soil. It's interesting. The actual, yeah, the fruits themselves. I don't know. I think that's why they've kind of compensated for that by having gigantic amounts, haven't they? For I feel oil from plants should have been better, is you have to use the planter like we have now. Fun makes it makes it to some form of oil that was only from Gleber. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. Oil sort of lost out, really, didn't it? I don't know. I guess part of the problem with oil is the whole thing that it's like it's just infinite. You know, it's like on Nauvis, you just mine up another oil patch and it's always there. It's it's just extra oil all the time. So. And yeah, and I know so this was when I gave my feedback on why Gleber was not the place I wanted to go, as it were, as my first planet. It was really around the fact that you got the cryo plant felt like it was meant to be like Gleber, like oil, like the oil refinery Mark II, basically, or not oil refinery, so chemical plant Mark II. That's what it was going for, essentially. So the problem then, of course, is that you've got another planet that has an oil type thing on it, if you see what I mean. So what do you do with that planet, basically? And that was kind of the problem I felt with it. It was like, so you've tried to make an oil producer part 2, and instead you've kind of ended up with what would you say? Yeah, 2 machines that do it, basically. So I think there is a case for making them a lot more integrated, So how many double grabber arms have we got? Have we got any triple grabber arms? We got 7 of those. Okay. I wonder about just doing a new design altogether. I mean, not that it won't be that similar, because these actually have larger range, don't they? Is one of the things. They gain 1 extra spot as well as having the extra arms. Yeah, let's work on something completely different / new. And then the other bits are probably more reusable. So, I mean, that's quite a tight, because it does that, doesn't it? Your diagonal type angles. If I put one right next to it, leaves a gap, doesn't it? Or doesn't it? No, that looks like they'll overlap, but we need 3 then. Oh no, that could move down a bit, I guess. Yeah, there's quite a big overlap there. So, and I guess also I've got the higher level ones, haven't I? How many of those have I actually got? 10, I think. Yeah. I suppose technically I'm leaving a little chunk that's uncovered there, but if something's got that close, I think we're in real trouble. If I did put level... Oops, no. Level 2 on the corner. Oh, are you not going to let me... Cannot build on empty space. Okay. That feels like a bug. So if that was there... Wait, is that not the level 2 one? No, it isn't. What happened there then? Huh. Weird. So we would then... So if we've got 4 corners... So I'm assuming I need to protect them at all the corners. I don't know. I haven't actually had to do that really on any of the other platforms, so it's probably overkill. But that means we'd have 4. You know, a requirement for 4 of the green ones if we put them on the corner. So then... Because it gives a better overlap, and also more like attacking further out, potentially. Okay. So I'm guessing if I nibble these away, it's going to... well, I would need to get... How the heck do I get an inserter on there? Assume that counts as being... Oh! On it? Like that. Guess I could long hand it over or something, couldn't I? I'm thinking if they're like that, how the heckins do I get? Guess I can obviously just belt weave round. So if this, or something like it, was kind of my corner, how much extra filling can I get there? I quite enjoy doing this as well. The winding the belts around type thing. Where I can. And I don't make a mess. Could always put like a turret in there, I guess, couldn't we? Because the question really is, what am I putting on? If I'm putting belt ammo on that ammo on belt, what am I sharing on that belt, or am I just doing that on its own? Because we've got 3 ammos, basically. 3 ammos. Because although it's got the longest range, it also does friendly fire, doesn't it? So it needs to be kind of poking out the front, really. Because here's the other thing. I did bring up, whatchamacallit? Walls. I assume these shoot the walls. But wait, I was thinking maybe stick them in there type of thing. Fill in the gap, in a sense. Guessing that'll probably shoot that piece. I don't know why. I don't think that's actually like useful in any way. It was just an option. What we could do, as I say, is we could have some rocket turrets in there. What's the range comparison there? So they are not far off, but then I have got higher level rocket turrets. Well, I've got 5 of them. So we could put one of them as a level 3 on each corner. And then we're talking... In fact, they shoot further away. Huh. Maybe we don't want to do that then. They're about the same, aren't they? But also, I don't know that I want them out there anyway, because I don't really want stuff being shot out here. Unless it has to be. So, if we use higher level ones of them, they probably need to be inside. Could maybe put it in there so that we can put in a inskirter. Maybe put the inskirter there. So we could put a couple of gun turrets. I've got higher level gun turrets as well. Not too many. 4 of them. So those could be... Oops. I keep forgetting it needs to be a picker. Let's have a comparison. Wow. So that's in front of it. And it's a good set of tiles closer, isn't it? So how does that compare to... So it's a lot closer in. Because I like to at least leave a sort of a gun turret with a chance of kind of shooting whatever's got close. There's something called a close-in weapon system, or CWIS, which is basically what I'm thinking of how I'm using those. It's basically, so if you've ever seen the Phalanx turret, that's a CWIS. The acronym isn't CWIS, so it's close-in weapon system, which would be SILS, but everyone says it's, was it CWIS? Yes, CWIS. I'll probably upgrade it to higher level belt, I'm sure. But I guess if there is just a little bit of platform there to protect it. How are we doing? 10 to 6. Good lord. This is a big part of why I enjoy doing the platforms, because it's a lot about defence, and if you've seen some of my older stuff, then I've spent hours designing defensive systems, you know. We could also put one here. Trouble with that is that would mean putting 3 ammos on one belt, wouldn't it? So that's not going to work. Well, what I could do... Could I? So it could be that both... Because we were overproducing red ammo quite a lot. So in other words, if this belt has the railgun turret ammo and red ammo, and then another belt has gun, you know, red ammo and this, and I could use the red ammo, this internal one. This could also have the backup yellow ammo on it, because it wouldn't be preferable to use that. But if we've got absolutely nothing else, then we might as well throw that at it. Okay. That would basically mean the exact design I used before would work. And all I would need to do is be careful about splitting off red ammo somewhere, sending it round. Yeah, I could do that then. Okay. Okay, so we would then have... Where do we inserters go? Because I have loads of green turrets. 15 rare ones as well, okay. I assume these don't shoot the grabber arms. I assume they're immune. I mean, the actual structure itself, I'm sure it'll shoot, but the actual arms. Because I'm actually not. I mean, there's the small bits, as it were, don't damage the platform. So that having a bit here that it's not collecting them is like not actually a problem. But do I want to put that? So how close do I ideally want to put them? Because the crossover point is like where the defense against big asteroids is going to stop. So that would be kind of there. So that's not approximately too bad. Did I say I had... Do I have... It's got 7 of them. Okay. And they do have bigger range. But that could be out front, basically. They go behind them as well. Which is pretty cool. Because it could just stick out the front. Because we're going to end up with 4 asteroid chunks. This is one of the things. Well, if and when we get to the whole end game thing. Could I put that? So if that was like there. So hopefully it wouldn't shoot it. That's what test runs are for. So if we put that one over. And get rid of that. So we know what's going on. Okay. So the question is whether I, you know, go all the way up type thing. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, use these yellow ones on... Oh, that's the wrong place. Yellow ones. Blue ones on the front. That's approximately right, isn't it? Yeah. And then it's the sort of green ones down the side. Just because I'm kind of assuming... It's that thing, when you're sweeping through an area, it's the front that is going to grab the most things, basically. A bit like the old Mythbusters thing on... Do you get wetter if you run? They are uneven then, though. How many gun turrets can we put in? So it wants to be 1 over anyway. If we want 3 in. So it need to be... Oh, well, we could have 2, I guess. Put it there. Somebody's saying on Reddit these arcs aren't actually all that accurate, and it can shoot your stuff if it's too close. When it doesn't look like it will. Well, I think it shows an indicator, doesn't it? So if we put something too close, it shows it as being red that it's going to hit it. Don't know. Let's play it safe then. Did I move that? I didn't move that, did I? So if we move that 1 over, we'll get 3 in. So if it's then 1, 2, 3, so it's 4. If it was 3, then what would that be? It would be like that. So they would overlap by 1 each, wouldn't they? But that's fine. We are putting extra ones in. So does that work as a kind of repeatable thing? And then we would have another one there. No, this will be 1 over that. And then it'll moan about the platform being missing. Because they're not going to shoot very far beyond that, but I don't know that I actually want them that far out front. Thinking maybe pull them back a little bit. So maybe put them in line. Or just one forward maybe. So, because I'm going to get more chunks out than I've previously been dealing with. So do something like that. Your chunky boys. Am I going to call this ship the Snake? I'm looking at the snaking belts. So, no, I mean, I've already called it edging, which I don't know how to explain that reference, but I could do, I guess. The Snake. I've kind of done that on quite a lot of the platforms. It just gives you more, you know, where you've got space, basically. You can just get more, you know, it's effectively like a chest, a buffer chest. I've not done it everywhere, you know, so I could have put it on here type of thing. Could have gone weavy, you know, wiggling around. But then these are the things that basically I'm chucking overboard. I just ran in front of a train and got really scared, and I realised I have mech armour. We're all going to get a big shock, I think. Big nasty shock. Oh, I was doing that remotely. When we play another game, and we're all used to mech armour, and we stand in front of a train and splat. So yes, the point being that maybe just use blue belt for it. What's the maximum sort of? Oops. So if I was pulling these in here, you see, basically, and I wanted to do what I did on the other one, which worked pretty well, I thought, of essentially having a bus that essentially goes round the, you know, round the platform. So it's the 4 materials. Now I need to think carefully about the Promethean one. I'm not intending to make the stuff on the platform. I'm just going to hoover up a load of... I'm not actually sure you get Prometheum until you go past the Shadow Planet. That's past the Solar System Edge, but if we do, we can, you know, grab a few bits, maybe do one research, and then call it done. What was I going to do there? I was going to set a filter, wasn't I? So, basically now got metallic chunks, carbonic chunks, oxide chunks, and Prometheum chunks. So yeah, if I was doing this, you see, this type of thing, then obviously it depends on the direction we go in, but it limits the, you know, like the distance, as it were, that we can move in, because that's, I say, that's like the furthest one. Well, it doesn't, because I could, you know, bring them in like that. So we could do that. Just put a bit of straight belt on there. We could also move these forward then. And this could maybe be, say, I don't know why I'm using them anyway, because I've got so many green shooty bang things. Kind of decided I don't like doing feed through, you know, pass through, because it sort of doesn't really work properly. It's too kind of slow in a lot of cases. So like that maybe, and we can mess around weaving these all about, you see, but just trying to get a feel. Yeah, blending them in and what have you. Undergrounds to work it, make it all work. But this gives me a feel for how much space I've got here, because we've also got to put in rocket turrets. And if we want to have 2 ammo belts. Not leaving a lot of room, is it, you see? Not leaving a lot of room. Now, although they have further range, it wouldn't hurt. Which would be the... So it'd be the inside one. Okay. But then that was also going to have gun ammo on it as well, wasn't it? Because we need to be able to bring this up. Now, whether I do a split or what have you, or just sort of that, or maybe it's just literally going along there like that. So the inner one then is the... In fact, it probably needs to be something more like that. Like that. But it also has ammo for them on. So do we do something... So this is great fun, this. Snake in the belt room. And then, if that was one further forward, is it going to get shot? Probably, but we'll have to see. But then... ideally, I'd do something like that, but it didn't really work, does it? So... Perfect, no notes. Cool. So then this one, or these ones, in fact, don't we have blue? How many blue do we have? 15, okay. Have we got any more on the planet as well? No. Okay. So we need to get a rocket turret in here. No, that's a blue one. How many blue ones have I got? I only got 4 of them, no? Yeah, and 1 pink one. But loads of green ones again. Because they've been chugging away, making them the yonks, basically. So, if we did that, then we could be nice and symmetrical. Oh. You only get Promethean asteroids if you go past the solar system edge, okay. Okay, so we need to be thinking about that then. But, I mean, I can always just turn around, can't I? I could go sneak in, grab a bit of Prometheum, because I think I've worked out I only needed like 50 chunks or something. I say only, I bet that's a almost impossible goal. It's 6:05, so I need to stop. But I think this is in principle a thing that could work. So if it was, let's make it symmetrical, even though that means then reversing all the belts. Just pop this in. So I'll probably make this red belt at the very least. That's down there. What's that? And then you want to go like that. Cool. So if that's our sort of starting point of our unit, as it were, but then I say let's just make this red belt. I don't know why I've been working with yellow. If we just sort of crack it there. Cool. And then this can be an undie here. And maybe we make this blue. The advantage of doing different colours means you can weave them a bit easier. And obviously that's a cursed technique that I don't use, but... So, if we were to want to do... I guess these could grab from both, couldn't they? And maybe I move this down. What advantage would moving down give me? None, I think. Because conveniently, those are 3-1. Ta-da! I like it. I bet it didn't work very well, but I like it. Yeah, so we chop that away. Get rid of that and that. Put them. This becomes our unit of whatever. Unit of unit. So put one in there. One in there. Gotta make all that add up, haven't I? What have I done there? I just take that out. So I upgraded this, didn't I? To red. Oh, that's not upgrade planner. I'm going to stop reset. So what would that need to look like? If that's that one there, then that needs to change anyway to be no. Wait, what? So ideally, we can do like that. No, we wouldn't. Like that. And that will go up there. So that could go in there. But that doesn't quite work out, does it? So, can I move the ripple down? No. Move that down. Yeah. Something like that. I found that Suka. Yes, next week. Sorry. So that's it for this week. I am getting carried away again. So I really love doing the platforms. I don't know that I'm good at it, but I do enjoy it. Schedule. Yes. So that's it for this week. I will not be back, as Eric Paul says, next weekend because I am going to the snooker, the UK Championships. Basically all day Sunday. That is. So going up on the Saturday probably. So there will be no streams next week, which is what my schedule should say if I've clicked the right button. It does indeed. I must be cropping that differently because the microphone's in shot. Yes, so no streams next week, but back on the 18th of January. We will continue on. I will try and resist the temptation, I don't think I will, of building this platform because the only goal for this series is to get to the Solar System Edge. What I will probably do then, if we make it and the platform's like survived and not horribly beaten up and stuff, is see if we can go a little bit into past the Solar System Edge, and grab a few Prometheum chunks, bring them back to Nalvis, and see if we can't do the very first of the sciences, which I assume using Prometheum, which I assume unlocks an achievement. I haven't actually checked, but I assume it does. So if that kind of depends how things have gone, because I say, if I can resist the temptation and I can instead mess about with quality and upgrading stuff and stuff like that on Alvis, then that weekend of the 18th of January, I anticipate we will. I can't see how 6 hours won't be enough to do some trial and error. If we don't get it right first time, build it again type platform work on something that will get to the Solar System Edge. And I say, if it gets there, I'm happy with that. If we've got time and capability, as it were, then we would try and do the Prometheum science as well. But if we don't, not. After that, then, what happens then? So this will be like the 25th of January then, will it? 24th, 25th of January. I'm going to flip to doing a normal playthrough in the sense of it won't have Space Age, but I will enable the quality and elevated rails. So we will do version 2 with quality and elevated rails, because what I want to try and learn, what I want to focus on, is like how I want to do quality. So when do I do quality? How do I do it, etc., etc. It's also going to be interesting to see how it works without without biter eggs and all that sort of stuff. What does that mean for version 2? I haven't really looked at any of that stuff. Or maybe you can't enable quality with version 2. If we can't, and we can just have elevated rails, then we'll do that, because I just want to focus on version 2. And the other thing I really want to look at is the whole parameterization. So if we can't do the quality, then we will at least do parameterization, and I'll learn how that works, because that looks like it's going to solve a lot of problems for me, a lot of things that I do that are a bit tedious. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I will also start a series of Satisfactory, because I've basically not touched it. I've done a tiny little bit. You can do quality in 2.0, just unlocks with space science. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll have a look at that then, and I'll play about with that. But the other thing, as I say, we'll do a Satisfactory series and Factorio. So that's the longer term plans. If that's not, if I need another week to do Space Age, we'll do another week. There's no fixed schedule to it. But yeah, that's the plan for the coming weeks. So the other thing to say is, if you are new here, then you find all my VODs on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, then there's Twitch as well as an option. I do restream. And you can also follow me on socials, Twitter and Blue Sky there. I just basically post when I'm going live. So yes, so that's it, as I say, for this week. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio Space Age. Thanks for watching. Cheers.